Drug Town, eh? It's an RPG about drugs. This is for Ben, right?
This is for Ben. If you look at the comment, it's like, Ben, you know about drugs. Why don't you tell us?
I get to weigh drugs.
Yeah, I love how like one of the big selling points is that you can weigh drugs.
I love how it's like there's all these badass drug games, but no badass. No, sorry, badass drug movies, but no badass drug games. And it's like this is not what you're going for.
Yeah.
You can buy and weigh and then redistribute. Like, wow, I'm so excited.
It's what I've always wanted.
Hey, Ben says it's connected.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jesus
How long have you been there?
I don't know,
How
3 or 4
long?
minutes?
So why don't you say hello when it
Well,
picks up?
Well, we were talking about stuff, so...
Holy crap, man. Wow.
Oh, my God. The terrifying man. He's here. Just say hello. It's all right if we're talking. We're just talking shit anyway. Now I can't remember what we were talking about.
I can't remember either.
A
I was talking
drug
about
game.
The drug game.
Oh,
the
yeah,
drug
yeah. You're obsessed with that game, Ben.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you weigh many drugs?
I cut some.
God, man, you're like a creepy stalker who just you turn around like, oh Jesus Christ,
Not
he's
really,
there.
because I'm
Hello,
an invited
friends.
stalker.
Everyone has a friend like that, though.
Creepy friend.
E.T. video game?
It's the video game that lets you pretend you're E.T., running away from secret agents, falling into danger, finding a phone to call home, and discovering the best thing on earth.
Welcome, friends of all designs, to episode 103 of 8.5-Bit, which I'm sure is going to be the most superstition urban legend episode of them all. Hooray!
Yay.
I am your host, Paul, and joining me today is the man who will appear if I say his name 3 times, James.
You know, yesterday I think I saw some chemtrails
Probably.
up in the sky. Yeah, they were up there.
Yep. Also, the girl whose internet is coming from inside the house, Simone.
Hello, it is. Always inside the house.
That's just a local area
That's
network.
how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just how we have it set up.
It's no 3G there.
No.
No connection. And the man with a gerbil stuck in a suspicious place, Ben.
Yeah. Sure.
Cool.
Just the sound of defeat.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the
it's
way
better
it
than most of them, really, when it comes down to it.
Is
Better
it
than
though?
most.
Is
So
it
you-
really?
Yes. Doesn't involve me getting hurt or,
I
anything
reckon
like
that would
that.
hurt a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, depends what this is. No, I'm not getting into it. Let's move on.
No, we need to stick with this one.
No, we don't. We really
Is it-
don't.
Does the gerbil burrow under its own
Oh,
power?
come on, guys. Nothing
Okay.
productive being done here.
We did it, guys. We did it. We finally excavated the ET landfill, and it exists. We've got some carts,
Yay.
and also a couple of copies of Centipede were in there too.
Oh, what's wrong with Centipede?
Oh, Centipede's pretty good.
They probably were just getting rid of all their stock. It just happened that 99% of the stock was ET.
Well, it's AT, yeah.
I love that ad in the intro where like the excitement of running away or falling down, because that's literally all the game is, avoiding the guy chasing
Yeah,
you, and
there
then
was
you
something
fall down a
about
hole.
Finding a phone. I don't
Yeah.
remember. I played ET. Like when that game was out, we had an Atari 2600 when I was a kid. My dad picked one up from a garage sale.
Yeah,
And I was really excited. In fact, actually, no. First thing is he told me he saw it and didn't buy it, and I started crying.
Solid choice.
Yeah. And then he's like, no, I bought it. And I stopped crying. But even my, what would have been probably like 6-7-year-old self, I had no idea what was going on, and I hated it
it's
immediately.
an awful game. It makes no sense.
It is really bad.
I don't believe we ever did see a phone.
No, there was talk of a phone in that promo, but I
Bad.
don't think there was actually any phone in that.
Maybe the phone was DLC.
No.
Okay, so I am back from camping, which was great, except for me jamming a big solid tent peg into my eye, which hurt a lot. But I've listened to your guys' episode from last week. All right, you did okay. But could you guys? What was the pronunciation of that game? Was it Hearthstone or Hearthstone?
Yeah,
Hearthforth? Yeah. It's heart force, you idiots. The word is heart. There's no H at the end. It's the That's it. That's my only bitch about you. And I liked your quiz show episode too. It went very well. Congratulations,
fun.
Ben. You should quiz
Really
up. more regularly.
Hearthstone.
It's Hearthstone, you moron. I'll kill you.
We get
I'll kill your whole
from there.
family.
That's interesting.
Given that I was the one in charge of putting those notes together, I'm pretty sure it's my fault.
Well, yeah, the others have to be responsible for checking the notes themselves. Okay, so let's stop doing games this week. Because I missed out last week, I'm just going to take over.
Yeah, what did you play?
I've been playing FRACT OSC. And I believe you also gave it a go, didn't you, James?
Yes, yeah, I gave it a go.
So FRACT OSC is a sort of puzzle first-person game on PC, and the game is played inside a synthesizer. It might sound a little weird, but it's an abstract world which you could equate to something a bit surrealish like Myst or so. But the world itself actually constructs a giant synthesizer, like a sequencer, like a Korg or something like that. And throughout the world, you explore and you basically unlock different functions of this synthesizer. You can exit the world and then actually use a fully functional synthesizer that you're unlocking as you go. So all the puzzles involve you having to build sequences or mix sound or anything in a way which is very similar to how you would operate a synth, but then put into a puzzle sort of interface. There's no explanation of anything. You're just thrown into this world to work it out. And I loved every second of it. Partly because it was just a really fun world that, it's relatively intuitive to work stuff out. It's also a gorgeous world. It's this really surreal, really strong colors. And as things wake up, there's all this light and these beats pulsing everywhere. But because you would solve puzzles by making sequences and things like that, the little patterns you would make would then be reflected elsewhere in the world. So as you walked around and you made more things, more of your things became reflected in the world around you until eventually, it's your stuff is everywhere, and you can go back and you can change the patterns. They don't have to solve the puzzle anymore. And you can make all these cool tunes everywhere. And then, without spoiling anything, it's kind of cool. Later in the game, it's not a twist, but you get a different perspective on what you've been doing. And it's how you didn't realize that's what you were doing is mind-blowing. It's fantastic. It's just it took me about 5-6 hours to get through the whole thing, but it's perfect for that length. And now also you can just go into it. And I feel there's more in the world that I haven't discovered, because there's a few things that I interacted with that had nothing to do with the main puzzles. So I feel like there's more to explore. But you have this fully functional synthesizer now, so you can just go in there and make music, and then you could go into the world and see that music actually pulsing through the environment and everything. Yeah, it's very cool. What did you think about your little play, James?
I actually really struggled with it.
Yeah.
I had a really hard time understanding what was going on, and I don't like narrative that isn't given to me on a silver platter.
Well, the game is sans narrative.
Yeah, and that is not. It's not really something I like. I like to have some grounding when I jump into something, just to know where I'm coming from and kind of what I'm doing. And this game doesn't give you that.
It's Tron with a synthesizer.
Yeah, but it doesn't even it's very minimalistic with its narrative, which is fine. And so I sort of started playing it, but I became aware pretty quickly it probably wasn't my kind of thing. Mostly just because I like to have some idea of what the hell I'm doing. But this one you don't really. It's really just kind of walk around.
Well, you get into a world and there's 3 areas, each one representing either the lead, the base, or pad, and they're each colored to that level. And you walk off in that path, and then each area will have 5 different substations and a main station, and they're all numbered, and you have to get each of the numbers, and then you do a main mix in the middle in the substation.
Yeah, see, I picked up none of that. I picked up absolutely none of that. I just had no idea what the game is. I didn't even read the synopsis on the Steam page. I looked at the art and I read the word Myst and Tron. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll see what that is. And this is probably a fairly partially on my fault, because I didn't actually research what the game was.
Sounds like it, because it's a synthesizer game.
Yeah, if you go into the game knowing absolutely nothing, you don't even read the description, the game does nothing to tell you what it is.
No, it throws you in with no assistance whatsoever.
Absolutely nothing. In fact, I think when it throws you in, it's just it's dark, isn't it? There's not even... Yeah, well, you can't even really see where you want to go.
You start on the level that has the whole synthesizer, and nothing's turned on. There's no power to it, so you literally just get dropped in this world, and then there's a little elevator, and you go walk in that, and then you go to the lower level where all the things are. Yeah.
So how much did you know about this before going into it?
I've known about it for years. This game's been years in the making. We've been waiting for it.
Yeah.
I knew its concept, but I didn't pay attention to puzzle design or anything like that.
But yeah, I think it's probably interesting how your perspective would have been if you went in knowing absolutely nothing about it, which is how I went in.
I saw a gameplay demo about a year and a half ago or so, but it was a level that wasn't even in the final game. So yeah.
Yeah. In fact, knowing more what it is now, I probably enjoy it more. But when I was playing it, previously it's like I don't know what's going on. I'm walking around like, is it? I literally had no idea what the goal of anything was because the game does not tell you. It's so minimalistic with its interface and its graphics and the storytelling. It's like, is there actually any kind of narrative in there, or is it really just turn on?
No. As I say, it's Sans narrative. It's not.
Yeah.
It's
So
the narrative is you're trying to unlock a synthesizer so you can make some cool tunes.
Yeah, they probably if they put that at the beginning, like just a black and white title card, like this is what you're doing.
So just like you didn't even know.
I probably would have been less confused.
So you didn't know it was a synthesizer.
Completely in the dark about it. Knew absolutely nothing about it.
Why did you buy a game without having a basic idea about it?
Because I expect a game to tell me that. I don't expect to have to read the Steam page to know what it is. I just saw Myst and I saw Tron. I thought I like both those things.
See, the thing is, it is more Myst-like in that, if you ignore the synthesizer part, it is just a world you explore. It's a very open world. There's no levels in it other than the top level and the bottom level. And you just explore, and it's basically an interpretation of symbols and, abstract puzzles. And the synthesizer can be something that you sort of discover as you go along, I guess. It's not needed from the startup. But it might help with how some of the interfaces work, however, if you've never used a synth before. But you've used Korg on your DS, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with that thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand those things. I like the apps on iPad where you just hit the button and it makes a pretty sound for you. They're the ones
you're a child of the Apple generation.
Yeah. I don't want to know how
to do it for you.
Yeah.
I'll pave my own path. Thank you very much.
Okay. But maybe I should go back to it now that I have some idea of what the hell it is. Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite games of the year so far. Just a sweet little package. Okay, let's jump on to someone else. Simone, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I've been trying out the Thinking with Time Machine mod that came out for Portal 2.
Yeah.
And it crashes a lot. Yep. It took me a while to get it going. I think I've spent more time trying to get it going than actually playing it. But apparently, I've spoken to a couple other people and they haven't had that problem, so I don't know if it's just me sucking. But it's really interesting what they've done. So basically, it starts off at the end of Portal 2, and then rather than just having the portal gun, you also have like a little time machine where you can record yourself doing things, and then so like you can use yourself to jump up on things that you wouldn't be able to reach before and all that sort of stuff, and stand on buttons and then do other stuff, and it makes it very complicated.
Yeah, this is a problem I have with, because I saw the time stuff. I thought, I love time travel stuff. I don't know if I like time travel in puzzle games. I think I have a hard time getting my head around them.
I love time travel in puzzle games. I don't know if I want a Portal style puzzle game though with time travel all in the first person, because that adds the knowledge of geometry around you, the physics involved in that, plus time manipulation is a lot to track.
Yeah,
it gets a bit much.
Yeah,
because we saw that Kickstarter with the robots that did the same sort of thing, and it worked really well.
No, that wasn't Hard Reset. It was called something like that though. Yeah, that's an interesting game, but that doesn't have like the physics aspects and everything.
Yeah.
I think it's just the other layer of complexity on an already complex game.
That's the thing. Yeah. And like I haven't got very far with it yet because it keeps crashing. But it seems like the idea is that you got kidnapped by Peabody and Atlas, and they're like running you through the test labs. So it seems like it's got a cool little story to it. I don't think it's very long, but again, so much crashing. So yeah, but it's been really interesting.
Cool.
And then I was playing Papers, Please, because paperwork simulators, great.
Well, you quit your job, didn't you? So you needed something to fill the hole.
I had to fill that filing hole somehow.
Did you manage to feed your family?
I did. It's one of those games where you start off and there's one thing that really bothers me about it. So basically you just you go through and you're in an immigration booth and people are coming through, and as different acts happen in the news, the security levels change. So at the start you might only have to check passports, and then sometimes it'll change so that people need ID cards and passports, and then entry conditions and all that sort of stuff. But you have to check the issuing city of the passport. That is so painful. Super painful. So if every time you get one wrong, you get deducted money from your pay, and as a result you can't, feed your family or get heating or whatever, and it's just kind of depressing. But it also brings out all these really strange moral questions. Like there's a lady that comes through and she says there's a guy that's going to try and kill her if you let him through, and she gives you a little note, and it's like, well, there's not actually anything wrong. So if you let him through, he's going to kill her. But at the same time, if you don't let him through, you're going to lose money. So you have to make all those sorts of decisions.
You let him through, right?
Yeah, money makes the world.
Oh, yeah. Obviously.
Also,
Obviously
I just have to say, whenever anyone talks about a moral dilemma in Papers, Please, they choose that one.
Yeah, it's the first one. Yeah, it's the first one that comes up. There's a few like that. There's like a mother that can't get through to see her son because she doesn't have the right papers and stuff like that.
Oh, definitely terrorists.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I would just say, look, any of you can come through, just more money, please.
Yeah, bribe me.
Can you afford to bribe me?
Yeah.
It's it's one question. Bribe, yes, no. All right, you're in or out.
It's very easy to fix.
I've got a tattoo bribe on my knuckles, and then when I open my hand, it says please.
That's the thing that the game is missing, obviously.
Yeah, just the bribe button. It solves every situation. Hey, James, you been on anything else?
Oh man, I played so much Elder Scrolls Online, but I've talked about that one the last 2 episodes. I
think more than that.
Yeah, more than that. And then I played a lot of Skyrim. Anyway, Elder Scrolls up the way. So I also played Hitman Go.
Good. Tell me about it, because I was going to get it, and then I saw the price, and I was like, eh.
Yeah, I think it was like $6. I think
$6.80 or something in Australia.
Yeah, something like that. It's okay. So Hitman Go is the turn-based stealth strategy game in the Hitman universe, where the whole thing's on a board, like a game board. It's a very kind of strange interpretation of Hitman, but it's incredibly sleek. So it's got like that kind of 1950s style kind of board game design, and all the characters and people playing tennis and things like that. The basic game is pretty simple. It gives you a grid with a bunch of nodes, and you basically swipe the direction that you want to go on your character, and you kind of move around. I found I was really into it for about the first maybe 10 levels, up until the point people started moving, because people will kind of patrol around.
Yeah.
And I found it pretty much like the conversation we're having with Portal and the time travel. It felt like it went one mechanic too far. So now it's like, I've got to like plan ahead exactly where this guy's gonna go, and like I just kind of like now it's a little bit too much.
But isn't that also like the basis of what Hitman is? Like moving patrols and stuff like that.
It is a bit, but I think there's this extra step you have to do, and you have to kind of plan, like when it's not moving, you have to push it forward. If that makes any sense, like it's one thing to kind of look back and go,
I'll go
right,
back and forth between these two squares.
All right, cool. I see where I have to go. It's a different thing to think, okay, in 4 moves he's going to be here, and he's going to turn around and go back, and this guy's going to be here, and he's going to be halfway through his path, and like now my head's exploded. And then on top of that, you've got there's nodes around the map for doing things like distractions, and you're forced to use them kind of arbitrarily. So there'll be one which will draw all the guards to one particular part of the map. You have to you can't walk over it. You got to plan when you're going to walk into it. And basically it just reached a point where I found it was too hard. There was too much entropy involved for me to really know how things were going to go. And so it was about that point it lost me.
Sounds just like a challenging puzzle game.
Yeah, it is. It is a challenging puzzle game. It's probably too challenging.
Such as speaking.
Yeah, such as speaking. For like the kind of game that I want to play on a tablet. That's not to say other people won't like it. It's just my experience was sort of a bit diminished by the fact that I'm kind of lazy, and I just didn't really want to think that far ahead.
Well, considering my complaint with Monument Valley the other week was that I loved it, but way too easy, and like I'd like some harder, more abstract puzzles and everything, maybe I should try Hitman Go.
You should. I think it's a different kind of thing, though.
Yeah.
Like I wanted harder puzzles in that game, but I didn't want necessarily more complexity.
Oh, okay.
So,
Speaking of which, Monument Valley is adding more levels.
oh, cool. Are
Yeah.
they going to make me pay for them?
I don't know. They also said that it's not in response to people complaining. They're doing it for artistic reasons. I'm like, sure you are.
Okay.
Sure you are,
Sure,
guys. Whatever you
thanks.
need to take yourselves at night. So, is there any other monetization in Hitman Go?
Yeah, so it's not so bad. It's just you can pay to get past stuff. So there's basically, I think it's about 10 or so blocks of levels, and if you want to, you can just drop some cash and just unlock it straight away. Otherwise, you got to go back and finish the other ones. It's
Okay.
not so bad. Yeah,
Well, that's the thing, because I looked on launch day, so there wasn't any in-depth reviews, and when I saw $6.80, and then I saw that it has in-game transactions, I'm like, no, go away. I don't want both, especially the game at that price, but it's just a little mobile thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was a little concerned as well. One of the big opportunities they missed in that game is they didn't use any tilt. It's a game about looking at this diorama.
Yeah,
and it's really pretty. And if I kind of expected it to do it, that if I moved my iPad, it would have kind of like tilted the world a little bit. Didn't do it. Complete waste opportunity there. It would have looked really cool.
You idiots. Okay, now it's time for Let's Speculate with Ben. Also 3 other people. Okay. We all know how Ben loves speculating on things. So this week, we had Sony and Microsoft both like file trademarks for names we've got nothing associated with. So instead of just reporting them as if it's news, because it's not news, because we don't care yet, we're just going to pretend we know what they are. First up, we've got Kill Strain. What do you think Kill Strain is?
It's a puppy killing simulator.
That does make sense. You got to kill like the entire like that breed. Or...
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Or all puppies in general, depending, what contract you've taken as the contractor.
See, the thing is, this first trademark actually has a typo in it. The S is actually one space away. It's actually Kills Train. It's about it's a train assassin. It's kind of like Hitman, except you're a train. So because you got to plan
They really failed at that patent. The only thing they were trying to patent was the title, and they got that wrong.
They got it wrong. Yeah. You got to plan well ahead in future to be able to get the tracks in place first. Okay,
Next gen is just a disaster.
Next up, Entwined. I think this one's Sony as well. Yeah, Entwined. What's Entwined?
It's a game about, how when you buy wool and it always comes in that nice little neat ball. It's you look at it and it's actually kind of confusing how it gets to be like that. Yeah, it's a game about designing those balls of wool.
Oh, okay. That's pretty close. I did actually do some research on this one as well. They've also made a spelling mistake. It's actually Entwined. It's about sort of clockwork ants from Lord of the Rings, and you've basically got to scale it and wind it up so it can partake in the battle. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like Shadow of the Colossus meets something with ants. Next up, we're on to Microsoft's extreme stuff. We've got Scream Ride. What's that?
Connect-based roller coaster game.
No, you idiot. There's a typo in that. It's supposed to be Ice Cream Ride. It's fantastic. Willy Wonka and an Ice Cream Factory. Fantastic. And finally, Eden Falls. What's that, Ben?
What was this one? I didn't even bother looking at this one after the
Why would you? Why would you look at any of these things?
You posted the first 3 and they were all just nothing. And Eden Falls. I'm guessing it's an Alan Wake type game.
Ah, yeah.
Except set in Eden Falls.
Yeah, there's no typo in this one. I just don't care. Okay, moving on.
I thought it was a long-awaited sequel, Lost Eden.
No, it's the prequel. No, just wait. The first Lost Eden was about it falling kind of. Who cares? Okay, we got a trailer this week for the new Ace Attorney. This is of note because they've shifted the time period. They've moved to what is it? It's the Meiji period or something. It's sort of like the late 1800s, which I think is a really fun place to take this kind of series because I doubt it's going to be teaching us much about history. But I'm sure the stories we could tell are a bit different there. You, Simone, you quite like Ace Attorney and such. What do you think about going into this period?
Yeah, I think it looks really good. I'm like, it doesn't look like that Phoenix Wright's in it, which I find disappointing. But
that's why it's the great Ace Attorney, not Phoenix.
Well, yeah, but yeah, I mean, it looks really good. It looks like it's going to be cool. I'll play it.
Yeah. I like that little shift. Yeah, just because as much as I like Ace Attorney. I'm kind of like. There's been a lot of Phoenix Wright so far. I could probably shift
I think
away
it's
from a little while.
because I'm new to it. It's like it's still exciting for me. Whereas
Which ones have you played?
the only one that I've played so far is the new Leighton one.
Ah, okay.
No, you should get the iPhone version.
I've
it's really
downloaded
good.
it, but I haven't played it yet.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah, it's good. Okay,
Watch the movie. The movie's pretty good too.
it's
I didn't know
yeah.
there was a movie.
Oh yeah, there's a movie, and they do like the objections and everything.
Is
It's
it
actually
animated?
really no. It's live action.
Live
It's actually
action? Oh my god.
yeah. It's actually really closely tied to the plot. Like it's pretty much the first game.
Didn't Takeshi Miike make it?
He may have.
I think so.
It's really slick, and even as someone, because I only played half of the first game, so I didn't even have a full understanding of what happened in the game, and I understood what was going on. So it's accessible for even if you don't really know. But then if you watch it, you'll probably ruin the first game for yourself. So
I need to play the game before I watch the movie. Is what you're telling me?
probably should do that.
Okay, did Takeshi Miike make Ace Attorney? I can't see it. Oh, I'll look it up later. Okay. Probably someone else did it. I just
Let's just say yes, and we can redact it later if we want.
You said yes. You can redact it. I said nothing. Okay. A few weeks ago, we were talking about a Kickstarter called Choice Chamber, which is about which was you played on Twitch, and one person played it, and then everyone in the Twitch stream was able to interact with the game. And James made the suggestion that Twitch should totally be funding that because it's just a thing for them. They're doing it.
Yeah,
they're matching.
Listen to me.
Yeah. So basically, James did the right thing. I like that.
Good job, James.
It's weird that
Thanks.
Twitch is turning it into a gaming platform now, with Twitch plays Pokemon and things like Choice Chamber, and like a few other little projects going around. It's like it's a kind of an interesting new area to take games at the moment.
I kind of view it as it's like the evolution of Let's Plays.
Yeah, it's an interactive Let's Play. It's sort of like you can play a game without you're really tired end of the day. I think this will really appeal to you, James, because you're lazy. End of the day,
so lazy.
you're home. It's like I really feel like playing, like let's say like Shadow of the Colossus. So back when we played that, you said Paul, play it for me. But this time you can say, okay, I'll watch you play Shadow of the Colossus. But every once in a while you can say double stab, and suddenly like I get an extra cool hit or something. So you get to be involved without really doing anything at all. Good work, James.
Thanks. just like my contribution to the success of this one.
Ah, you're the best.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this is really cool. It excites me as kind of a new platform for things to exist, like a new way for us to interact with games. I think it's cool.
We'll just do it with Oculus Rift. Didn't you do a Kickstarter last week, which was someone's like playing a giant and they need like a motion capture studio?
Yeah.
Giant for sword.
Yeah. We can integrate all this. It's like these weird, strange community, different interaction stuff going on. But we're talking about shit stuff because we need to talk about the biggest news story of the week: new DLC for Call of Duty Ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is big stuff.
Without a
Freaking
hint of
awesome.
without a hint of irony at all, we're all on board of this. They have done a Snoop Dogg announcer pack for Call of Duty's Ghost multiplayer. It's amazing.
Yeah.
No cynicism at all. I think they need more of this kind of stuff. It's so there's a promo video out where you get to hear how Snoop Dogg thought the writers really got his flavor down.
Yeah, my favorite part of this was that he didn't even ad-lib it. He was given lines.
Yeah.
They
One
gave
of
him
your
some
homies
flexibility.
just got sprung. Let's do it.
Yeah, he added some Snoopisms, which I didn't know that was a thing. So that's improved my life significantly.
It really has, hasn't it?
It has.
But it's almost like, okay, like Snoop Dogg's an interesting character, right? But one of my main complaints with sort of Call of Duty and things like that is that they're a bit joyless. They're a bit dry for me. I don't really get into them. You know what? Stupid announcer packs and stuff like that, I can get on board with that.
I want the UT announcer pack.
Multi-kill, godlike.
This works well for Dota 2. It's nice being able to kind of swap out the announcement to kind of change the feel a bit. I think this is pretty cool. And I prefer this kind of monetization than them releasing another map pack. I prefer them to do things like this and just give me the map packs for free.
Yeah,
that's probably pretty unlikely to happen.
Yeah, they make too much money from the map packs, but that would feel kind of cool. DLC that mainly is just changing your flavor of the game. Instead of, will you be getting the Snoop Dogg pack, Ben?
Maybe. It depends if I go back to it or not. The game, actually.
Yeah.
I haven't really been playing it. So, yeah.
Who would be your dream announcer?
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? The Queen would be funny.
That's a good choice.
Oh dear, he's gone down.
Maybe just the Swedish Chef.
Oh my
No
god.
idea what's going on? A bloop, bloop, bloop,
Shoot
boom.
Oh, please let them do that.
Anyway. Speaking of adding things to games, Skullgirls added a new character this week. And I thought this was a particular note, especially for James. I thought he would find this design hilarious. The first male character they've added to the game, and his name is Big Band. And this character is a very bulbous man in a trench coat, which plays an entire big band, and all his attacks are, like trumpets and the saxes and everything that pop out, and drums and everything. Skullgirls has some amazing character designs in it, and I think this is one of the best ones yet.
Yeah, it's like he'll throw out some like drums and like it's just crazy. It's really it's worth watching the animations on this because I think that's where Skullgirls has really shines. Their crazy design and crazy animation. And I have never seen a character like this before. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a really interesting character because normally I wouldn't just report on a character. But I just loved that. I watched that video a few times this week.
And it's the first male character, yeah?
Yeah, first male. Because it's, primarily, it's called Skullgirls, primarily a female cast. Except now, we've soiled it with a big band.
Now it's just Skull People.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's trans. And
we don't know.
We're going to have a debate about it later on Jezebel. Okay. We've got a lot of just random things to talk about. I don't want to push through. I just want to chat. There's a new Prince of Persia game, apparently.
Oh man, this is cool. So this is the one that's going to be using the UbiArt framework.
That's what the rumor is. It's going to be using the Rayman.
God, I hope so.
Legend. I always say Rayman Legend instead of Rayman Engine. I don't know why it is those words together. I can't do it. It's weird. But yeah. So reportedly going back to a 2D Prince of Persia with what we've already established as one of the most gorgeous engines around. It's also being used for Child of Light and stuff. I think it's about time for another 2D Prince of Persia.
Or a good one.
Because
we've had a bunch of them, but we haven't had any particular good ones. Prince of Persia 2, what was it called? Prince of Persia 2, can't remember. Can't now.
Die Harder.
Yeah, that's good.
Electric
Prince Harder. Yeah, let's go with that. Warrior in the Flame or something like that. But yeah, it was really cool. It was like the really bright, colorful art style with some really good level design. Like it had like this kind of crazy fourth dimensional Etcher style painting levels. It just got crazy. So yeah, going back to those kind of 2D roots, I'm really keen on. I think it's really cool, especially with the level of creativity that these teams get and just the quality of the animation that they managed to get out of the framework. I think it could just be some really cool stuff.
Speaking of that, did you see the other day Michelle Ancel tweeted a picture of Jade from Beyond Good and Evil? And everyone's like, oh my god, art from Beyond Good and Evil 2, it's actually happening. Turned out it was just some concept art from the first game. It's like, why did you tweet that, you dick?
And everyone was sad?
I was sad already.
That's mean.
But speaking of old franchises continuing, Sonic Boom, there's a little bit to talk about. I don't know. This is the cycle of Sonic games. They announce it, starts to look good, hopes get up, and then they start showing the bloody Blitz the Cat and stuff like that, and you start getting a bit, and then the game comes out and it's disappointing. But at the moment, I'm still in the honeymoon phase. So
this one could be okay.
It's more of an open-ended adventure sort of game, so sort of like Sonic Adventure, but not made terribly. I like the levels in Sonic Adventure, but all the hub world stuff, oh my god, it was awful. But I didn't realize it's being made in the CryEngine 3.
Yeah.
Which explains partly why it looks good. And it's also running on Wii U. So CryEngine 3 working on Wii U. But one of the other things was that they had to heavily modify the engine to allow split-screen multiplayer. Because CryEngine has no built-in functions for split-screen. Which made me sad. Because it means that they're not even considering it anymore.
Yeah, I can see for an optimization reason, you might want to kill that one pretty quickly. Because it's easier to cull stuff out when you know where the camera's pointing. If you've got 4 of them. Yeah, I can see why they do that. But yeah, it's cool that they managed to do it, though. They kind of worked around it to get the split screen happening.
We can get right into that. Yeah, I'm like, I even like Knuckles' new design because a lot of people give him shit because it's just this big, bulky pink thing now. It's like, oh, it looks so stupid. It's like, yes, because the old skinny pink thing was a great representation of an echidna.
Yeah, I'm really not particularly precious about any of these designs. Maybe it's just because I'm not a Sonic fanboy. I think they look fine. I don't care that Sonic has a scarf. He can have a scarf.
I love that they
That's
put
what's
bandages on them.
confusing me. I'm just looking at it now, being like, why? But why is he wearing a scarf? Like that's hey.
And there is a stated reason. Apparently, it's just a note of inspiration from the Uncharted series.
Oh.
Apparently, they like Uncharted so much, and they want to capture that spirit of adventure, so they put the scarf on Sonic.
They definitely nailed that, didn't they?
I mean, sure.
Yeah, why not? Why?
Yeah.
He looks more adventurous.
He does. He does look more adventurous. I feel
Success.
like he's
character
just
I
gonna
don't want to
get
get a
that.
draft on my neck. There's some
feel like he's
adventure,
just
boys.
Yeah. Well, if you're
caught
adventuring,
on something.
Maybe.
He's just gonna get it caught on something and then choke himself. That's just
Oh, that would be
insane.
hilarious. Like running through like a bramble patch and it gets caught on some thorns and just suddenly like wrench and like falls back. Oh, that would be fantastic. I like it. Yes. So, other interesting things this week. There has been a lot of stuff going on this week. The few things that are getting like bigger releases. Goat Simulator is getting a boxed release now.
Yay!
That
Go-
game.
Goat Simulator, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. They're adding multiplayer. They're adding more maps. They're adding a parkour system. It's like this game. By the time it's finished, it's going to be just like a world simulator, but you just happen to be a goat. Like, it's going to be the biggest game in the universe.
Oh, it's
Does
the
this thing
best.
have Steam Workshop support?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
That's what it needs. Because I want different animals. Where's the
Oh.
sloth ball?
Well, that's already in there. Like
They've already got different animals.
Yeah, so if you can unlock the feathered goat, and it's
Yeah.
an ostrich,
Yeah, I played the ostrich.
and the tall goat is a giraffe. The giraffe is great because you can't fit in anything, and so the neck just spazzes out like ridiculously.
Well, Simone, what you could do is you could just jump in the hole that shrinks you.
Oh, that's
You
true.
could be a mini giraffe. See, the game literally has everything.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. But
we don't need any more games. We're done.
even weirder than Goat Simulator getting a physical release, Soda Drinker Pro is getting an Xbox One release.
You might have to go back to what that one is.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I looked into it, and I'm very confused.
I did a video on Soda Drinker Pro ages ago. Soda Drinker Pro is a first-person soda drinking game where you walk around very badly made, very quickly thrown together spaces, normally just a room with 4 textured walls, and the textures look like they were drawn with a crayon. And you just hold a button to drink your soda until your thirst is quenched, and then you move to the next level. It's interesting. You literally just drink your soda. You can either like take a big gulp or you can sip it. You know, it's really up to you. And you can walk around if you want, but it really makes no difference.
I watched this amazing review of this guy that was like, you know, unlike other soda drinker simulators, it has the most amazing textures. And, you know, he gave it like a 9.9 because the only issue he had was that you had to press 2 buttons to drink your soda, and that was just taking up too much time.
Well, you've got to hold the straw up to your lips and the other one to suck.
Yeah.
So,
See,
yeah.
that was his issue.
Yeah. True. The fact that is even, like, deemable as getting onto Xbox One is amazing.
It confuses me because that game, like, I'll compare that to Goat Simulator. Like, Goat Simulator, I look at and I go, I see the merit in that thing being fun.
Yeah.
Soda Drinker was just a joke. I don't remember there being anything that interesting in the game itself.
That's what I
Maybe
love,
there's
like,
something.
I'm on the mailing list, and I get updates for Soda Drinker Pro like maybe once a fortnight, maybe even more regular than that sometimes. It's like there's constant work on this project, and a whole bunch of different artists like contribute levels and stuff. So maybe it's turning into some like Soda Drinker Pro is its own artistic platform now. Something crazy like that.
That's so
it's just-
weird.
It's just I don't understand any of it. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Xbox One, though, I didn't realize this. It's not out in Japan yet. It only just got a
Yeah.
release date, It's coming out in September. It's like, so still a bit off.
Maybe this year.
Maybe this year. I think they're going to sell all 10 consoles that they ship over there.
Yeah, I think they finally got an email from the one person in Japan that wants one, and they're like, all right.
I guess.
We'll bring it over. I guess we should. But someone had to ask, didn't they? Jesus, now we have to.
Those bastards.
I can't see anything with this launch that's going to make it any different than the other two attempts. I honestly don't know why they're bothering.
There are fans in the country, and like, might as well release it. But it's it's not. Well, it's not. I know we're reporting on it, but it's not worth reporting on. Basically,
yeah.
It just doesn't do anything of note in the country.
Like, I know there's fans, but is there enough to justify an entire launch into their region? Can't they just? Cause it's region free, right? If you're a big enough fan, can't you just get one?
Yeah.
Like overseas, maybe just set up a website. Like, hey, two guys in Japan that want an Xbox One, we'll send you one.
Yeah, let them connect to the American store or something, and just just like ship over to retailers that want them, not do an actual launch in Japan.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll do that. Anyway, I think it's time that we jumped onto a bit of crowdfunding today. So, just a little note before we start. Kickstarter has been adding extra categories to things recently to make it a little bit easier to sort through, and I applaud them for that. So, as well as the video game category, they've added a mobile game category now. Mobile games already have a pretty hard time being seen on Kickstarter. Now I don't think anyone's even going to see the games to not pledge to them.
But Paul, this is how I found Dodgebird.
The greatest game of all time. Tell us about Dodgebird, James.
So Dodgebird is an iPhone app where you steer a bird away from hitting windows and you want to catch insects. There's this really, really detailed... Yeah, allegedly. There's a really detailed pitch video. By pitch video, I mean 2 sideways sketches.
It's super detailed.
They couldn't even be bothered putting the right way up.
Orientation the right way.
It's basically, to explain what it is, it's like an A4 piece of paper with a badly drawn Nico iPhone with horrible handwriting and arrows pointing in every direction.
He's labelled the bird.
Yes.
So...
No, he labelled the word bird.
Yeah, because the arrow goes
the other direction. It's true.
I think the iPhone's also upside down.
Oh, no.
It is too, yes.
Yeah, the buttons.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's holding it sideways, so...
Oh, it's sideways, yeah.
That's an odd way to hold it sideways. Oh, I guess maybe.
Yeah,
fair enough.
They're pretty much the same.
But that's a $5,000 goal right there.
So how much has it made so far?
Zero. If you...
Oh my god! He's in Brisbane!
Oh my god.
Did we just make fun of someone in Brisbane?
Someone we might know.
That person has it connected to their Facebook. Let's just have a quick look at that.
Let's look
Aaron
for
Middleton
friends on Facebook.
3,040 friends. Uh-oh.
I thought you said mutual friends.
Oh, it's called
Yeah,
mutual
I
friends.
almost did. I don't know why I almost added that
A lot
word.
of his friends are sexy ladies, I'm going to be honest. Tanned, sexy ladies.
Well, he's just a lady killer, I guess.
Yeah.
As in, he is a serial murderer, and you should not associate him in any way.
Oh.
So great work, Aaron, you convicted murderer. Good luck with Dodgebird. Come back with some more details.
Yeah, prove your pitch, buddy.
Yeah,
we can help you out with that pitch.
Yeah.
He's gonna track us down.
It's alright. We can talk. I think we're justified in criticizing that. We're not being mean. It is a little ridiculous to put that up and ask for money. Anyway.
Just a tad.
Yeah.
And the rewards go from $5 then jump straight to $50.
You get $50 of in-game currency.
You look
Sweet.
stronger
Wait,
than
it's gonna have in-app purchases. Great, brilliant. Okay, so on to some real
much
games.
fitter and stronger than us guys. I think we've made a terrible thing.
We've made an enemy today.
But I'm
They
fatter.
have to outrun one of you.
He's got such good teeth as well.
Stop stalking
tell.
Aaron.
He's healthy. He's like a thoroughbred racehorse, and he's coming to get us.
Oh my god. Oh, excellent.
He
Aaron,
does.
you're a good guy. Yeah.
He has some... Oh,
Let's stop Facebook stalking this guy, shall we?
clicked on something I wish I hadn't clicked on.
I'll be sure to hashtag him into this episode. Okay. First up, we've got Hextraction. Now, this is a science fiction RTS based on a world in a hex grid. And after viewing it, Ben asked me, what's the point of the hex grid? Now,
Yeah, I went back to this.
Yeah,
I think
that is a fair question.
Now,
yeah, because if you take the
it's-
hex grid out, I don't think it'll change the fundamental game.
I don't know, because all the movement is based on the hexes, and things don't seem to be occupy more than one grid at once. And it's almost like that sort of a tower defense thing, where by placing units you're blocking paths and stuff like that. So I can see a point to it, but the number one point is so they can make the pun of extraction with a H at the front. So
Yeah, that's what it seems to be.
it's really good. So this game, as I say, it is a RTS based in a hex-based world. The world is randomized as well. It's sort of that sort of I'll say a roguelike element in that. It's not like a game where you build units and such. You build a team similar to like you would in XCOM, and those units will level up, and that's how you structure your team. And if they die, it's permadeath on that. So it's a weird mix between an a larger RTS where you explore a whole world. You sort of get to choose which way you're going yourself, and then the smaller like XCOM style things on there, and just based in this sort of grid-like environment. I think it's a fun little idea.
Yeah, there's also little narratives pop up. There's sort of randomly generated story on each of the planets as well. I think this one looks pretty fun. Like, even though I think the hexes are probably mostly there for artistic merit, like I don't think they necessarily
artistic,
need to be
and
there.
I think partly to make the environments, the randomly generated environments, a bit better. So it's an easy way to construct things, I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit of almost like a Minecraft approach where you can kind of use these blocks to, I think it looks nice. Like, I don't mind the fact that the hexes are there. I mean, in practice, a lot of RTS games work like that anyway. That you just can't really see the grid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that looks cool. Also, let's say this video has the best cowboy voice out of all the videos we've watched.
The music and voice is very Firefly. I was like, it's like Jane made a game. It's the best.
it's There's a very good voiceover over this whole video. It's very slick.
Yes, very, very cool. That's Hextraction. It's on Kickstarter.
Hextraction? What's like Hextraction?
Did I say Hextraction?
Yeah,
Hextraction.
Extraction.
Yeah, sorry. It is maybe I just had a stroke halfway through the word. $15 Canadian if you want to pledge for a copy of the game, and then up
Hextraction.
Hextraction. Okay, next up we've got Universe Edge. This is a space simulator where you get to construct your ship, and it's sort of built out of blocks, and it's sort of exploring and mining and managing your crew and having adventures. Can
I make a request?
Yes?
Ben?
Yeah.
Can you read the description, like the first line description for me?
First line description. A single-player spaceship building, crew management, space exploration game.
There we go. It's a Ben description.
Yeah.
It's to the point.
It is.
Yeah.
Also, it's very Ben because it contains no capital letters.
Yes, that's a good point.
This might actually be Ben's Kickstarter now that you point that out.
Yeah.
There is a demo available for this game. And if you find the idea of these sort of space adventures, sort of think about it like a Faster Than Light, but you're a bit more in control of what you do, and you get to construct your own ship.
It's Faster Than Life crossed with Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
The demo is very good. There's not a lot to do in it. It's just showing off some mechanics. But it's one of those things where your crew is physically inside your ship, and all the components are there. And so if you say, okay, mine those rocks, someone has to physically get up and move to the mining station and operate it. And the ship has multiple levels. You can just drop up and down those levels at will. So it feels very physical, and it feels like very real, even though it's very stylized. As I say, it's a simple demo. It's not like you're going to get any story or you're going to do a battle or anything. It's just showing some basic mechanics. But I really enjoyed it. And even just the way that the ship moves around and navigates these two asteroids that are in the demo, it felt pretty cool because it just works on a flat plane, but it just feels nice being in space. They could just as easily make this a pirate sim, because you could just be on the high seas. Everything would work pretty much the same. I really enjoyed playing around with it. What do you guys think of the pitch?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I thought this one's interesting because it's a one-man band game.
Yeah.
And normally I'm a little kind of down on those simply because making games is a lot of work. But Dwarf Fortress, I'm pretty sure was mostly one guy. I think these kinds of scoped games, if there's a single passionate person behind it, they can work.
Yeah.
So I didn't really think it was. Yeah, and this guy, he's a bit green as well. I think he's got about maybe 3 or 4 years of dev experience. But what he's done so far is pretty impressive. So he's shown that he's got skill.
And while it might and while it might have sort of ambitious scope, because he's doing it with like a very simple graphic style, and he's getting these base mechanics down first, that scope doesn't seem unreasonable at all.
Yeah, I like it as single player. Like he just says up at the beginning, this is a single player game. So like he's scoped it reasonably.
And multiplayer isn't a stretch goal. He's like, no, I have not built the game with multiplayer in mind.
Yeah.
Quit asking.
Yeah.
Okay, so Universe Edge, that is at the moment a $9 early bird if you want the game. Once that goes, it bumps up to $12. So pretty reasonable there. Okay, next up, we've got, well, there's two games we're going to talk about together here. First up, we're going to talk about Imagine Earth. This is on Indiegogo. Now, this is a planetary sort of, I suppose, colonization game, they call it. You have an entire planet and you sort of view the whole sphere. And in this, I believe you're working for some corporation or something, and your job is basically to go to planets, colonize them, and mine resources and such. And I think what makes this unique from the other game we're going to talk about afterwards is that it seems to operate almost like a puzzle game, where you have to place buildings and resources to do things, but there's limited space on the planet. So it's sort of broken into a triangular grid on each planet. So it's more about how to place these things to make them work and make them efficient. There is a demo available. I have not had a chance to play this one yet, so I can't tell you about that. But it's a relatively attractive game. I like these sphere-shaped things, and it looks like it has its own little twist to it. You were jumping in, James?
Oh, yeah, I really like the scale of this. I sort of looked at it and I saw it as like a mini Civ. And it sort of looked like it deliberately kept down the size of the world, so you had to deal with the problems of having very limited space with trying to solve the issues.
It's kind of funny that it's an entire planet, yet it's restricted.
Yeah. And all the interface is really slick. Like the video, I watched the video and went, okay, I understand how to control this game. I get what the game is. I thought it was a really good pitch.
Yeah. I like the pitch. Which brings us on to the next game called The Universum. This is a strategy game based on a planetoid. The entire planet looks very much the exact same sort of perspective as our last game, except this game has a pitch video which is so polished it sort of goes into the same realm as like the Planetary Annihilation video, which was one of the best pitches we'd ever seen. The only difference between that video and this one is that Planetary Annihilation video was very, very good at showing how the game played and what its goals were. This doesn't necessarily show your interaction, because this is a game that starts almost like Spore. You start with an empty planet, and then you harvest life on it, and it grows, and you guide it, but you don't get direct control over any of the life growing on your planet. You get to sort of influence them by placing objects and doing certain things on it. Reminded me a little bit of that strategy game Reus.
But
at the same time, the scope of this, and with that idea is sort of like these broad strokes that you're painting the world with, and the rest is controlled by AIs. I think the scope and just the epicness of what this can turn into looks fantastic. I was really excited by this game. In fact, I even pledged to this one.
Wow.
Oh, really?
I did.
It's super pretty.
Yeah. It makes me happy.
Super pretty.
Especially when the bad guys turn up.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about it? Let's hear from Ben. He hasn't spoken up much. Ben, tell us about Universum.
About these. These games did not grab me at all, so I don't know if I'm the best person to talk to about these. They just
why didn't they grab you?
Yeah, what doesn't grab you?
Because it just feels like they're treading old ground so much, and they don't feel like they're bringing anything particularly, not new, but just nothing. Putting something together that would be presented in a new, fun. I'm sorry, games. Maybe I just didn't get you. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Not all games are for all people.
Yeah.
Oh, you just crunched it out then. That's all right. Let's keep.
Yeah.
So Universum there at the moment there was all early birds are all gone. Sorry, that's me. Sorry.
You took the last one.
I did wonder.
They were $10. Now it's up to $15. I think it's a very ambitious and very just fun looking game because I keep bringing up Planetary Annihilation, but when I think about that, I don't know if I have the time to play a strategy game where I have to manage hundreds of units and such, moving around doing different things. But a game where I can play with the broad strokes seems more my style at this time of my life. But yeah, I think that's really cool.
You know what? Imagine Earth sold me more.
Did it? Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I think because I knew what the hell it was, and I liked the idea of there being a micro sieve.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of cool.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay, next up, we've got Omori or Omori. I don't know. It's Japanese. This is a game headed by the artist Omocat or Omocat. Someone that cares about Japanese culture, please correct me. I mean, I care. I just don't know. That's the difference. This is a pitch video which does not have a pitch. This is a pitch video which just has some crazy shit going on with an amazing soundtrack, and I love this soundtrack so much. In fact, I love the soundtrack way more than I liked the game. Because
well, that's because you don't know what the game is.
I don't know what the game is. From everything we can see of it, it's basically like an Earthbound style game. It's a JRPG, and in fact, what we've seen, because the world is sort of the main character lives in a world of white, and there's nothing there, but then there's a black light bulb. If it reminded me of anything, it reminded me of the first game of the Lisa the RPG, not the one that was Kickstarted, the one he made before that, which was sort of this very surreal horror game. And I think that's sort of what they're going for, but it's very hard to tell because they don't show very much of the game. So I got the artist who made the music in the pitch video, tracked him down, and I paid him for his album because that seemed better. And just as a quick thing, this is the song in question. Kwai! Anyway.
I got a bit of a furikuri vibe from this thing.
A little bit, like a horror furikuri.
Yeah, like a horror furikuri.
Especially that song, like, if you listen to the whole thing, one of the reasons I like it's a very eclectic song. It changes, like, its genre, like, 5 times throughout the song, which is the kind of thing I really enjoy. Ben, not so much. He hated it. But that's all right.
I believe there were Avril Lavigne comparisons.
Yeah, no, he said he hated it as much as he hated Avril Lavigne.
Oh, I don't know how much.
No, Avril Lavigne's new song, the Hello Kitty one.
Why do you even know this thing exists?
Because I'm awesome.
You are the worst. I am very sad at your comparisons
Watch
of
Avril
my
Lavigne Hello Kitty film click, and I think you'll get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I somehow doubt she's going to move between genres and have wild, dynamic, theatrical music.
That's not. Anyhow.
But you just said I corrected you and said you just hate it as much, and you said no, you're actually drawing comparison just because the clip is Japanese. I'm seeing it now. And she's just wearing a Japanese shit and singing about stupid cats.
It's not. It doesn't jump between genres and stuff. But I listened to that and I immediately thought that song.
A highly auto-tuned pop song versus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't it just the girlfriend song but with Hello Kitty lyrics?
I don't know.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah. Basically, Ben doesn't understand music. He just worked out what he liked in the 90s and repeats that for the rest of his life.
That's a good way to be.
It's true. There's nothing wrong with it. But anyway, so Omori is there. Or Omori, as I've said, I don't know. You can pick up the game for $15. As I say, I don't know what it is. The artist has her fans. She's already well blown over after what they're going. Just as another note as a semi-criticism, all the people attached are artists. They're all musicians and artists. Like, who's programming this damn thing?
That's right. They can get an RPG Maker.
Yeah, I think it will be RPG Maker. But the thing is,
I think
because this is based on it was a webcomic, and then she started to make a graphic novel, and she did like the first episode, but she then said it was all like she always wanted it to be a video game. So it's like it's gone through multiple generations. So it's already got like people that are into it and stuff. And that's probably why it hasn't detailed too much, because they just assume if you're interested in it, you're a fan. And I guess, I guess that gets away with it. Cool. So next up, we've got Exogenesis. Exogenesis, we're still sticking with Japan at the moment. We are going for a interactive fiction adventure novel in Japanese style, lots of anime. It is based in a post-apocalyptic world, and it has a demo. And if you're interested in visual novels and such, why not play the bloody demo? In fact, I have played the demo, and I didn't finish it because they give you a lot in that demo. I thought I was at the end of the demo, and then it's like, no, entirely new section, which seems much bigger than the sections before it. Very nice art in it. The world is sort of... The first image of the game is actually very confronting. It's almost like something you'd see from Saw. It's your sister, like, in a death trap, impaled by all these spears.
Oh.
This is the tone that you'll have to expect from this game. It's not. I wouldn't say that it's a mature game, but it certainly likes its extreme content. People get killed. It seems to be vicious. But that's the style of story it's going for. So just be aware going into it. So it's a mixture of visual novel, also mixed with things like the Zero Escape games, which I've also been playing Zero Escape on the Vita at the moment. Can't remember which one it is. And out of the two, I had a much better time with the puzzles on this.
Okay.
They're clear.
So what kind of puzzles are they?
They're escape the room style puzzles so far.
Okay.
So very, very similar to Zero Escape.
Yeah.
I just had to escape a room, and the puzzle involved, I just went through logically. There were a couple little twists to it. I was like, oh yeah, that's nice. Moving on. It sold me on it. If they get enough money, they're going to try and voice act the whole thing, and that would be very nice. If you watch the pitch, they've actually done voice acting, which is very anime style over the whole thing, but they seem very competent at it.
Yeah, I thought that the voiceover stuff they did in the video I thought was pretty good. I thought as the pitch was probably a little too long for me.
A little long.
But just demonstrating the kind of stuff they could do, I thought it was pretty good for that.
Yeah, because it's just very strange. Like it's post-apocalyptic. Like the world's gone to hell, but you're like a team of like almost like Goonies adventurers. Like here I am with my motley crew, yet people get like torn apart in Saw-style traps, and like it's like a fun adventure in a world of misery.
There's a pitch.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that it's not fun. It's like, it's like, big conspiracies and time travel and magical items and stuff. It's a very strange mix, but I thought it was fun. And as I say, you can always play the demo on these things. So if you want to pitch for just the game, you can do that. $20, and that's an early bird. God, I think it's because there's such a niche genre for these things. A niche community for these things.
They can go a bit more.
Yeah, it's like when you go, I'm making a German adventure game. $100 pitch, please.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty true. Like, I'll look at it and I go, this is a nice pitch. Not for me.
Yeah.
So,
it seems very nice so far. Next up, we've got Hover. Now, Hover, they like to pitch themselves somewhat as a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio. And that gets you most of the way there. We actually had this on our Game Watch like a month or two ago. It's a very bright, cel-shaded, futuristic universe where you are running around, sort of a mixture between Jet Set Radio and Mirror's Edge, because you're mainly on foot, but you get to slide around on rails and launch in the air and do tricks. At the moment, you seem to be able to play it both first person and third person. First person, because you're doing flips and stuff, I think I would vomit all over the room. Third person, I'm absolutely fine with. And they've got a big focus on sort of like a Tony Hawk style scoring system, where the point is to get smooth runs and do tricks and stuff like that. You're not fighting or anything like that. You may be pursued by people, but you yourself aren't a fighter. It's also a big focus on multiplayer, so doing these things with your friends. And as we know from Burnout Paradise, doing tricks and doing runs and everything with friends in this sort of environment can be a lot of fun. It looks really smooth. I quite like it. Also as additional, it has Oculus Rift support if you really want to throw up.
If you really want to, get a bit pukey. The first person stuff actually reminded me a bit of the parkour stuff in Titanfall.
Oh yeah,
I kind of had that kind of feel from it, which I was totally down with because I love the parkour system in Titanfall. And there's also all the anti-game stuff. So like they're kind of being, the narrative is sort of inspired by the graffiti stuff in Jet Set Radio, but this time it's like anti-video game laws, and you need to go disrupt those anti-video game laws.
Stop being a video game. If they catch you, it just turns into Word.
Yeah, there was one thing I saw that made me a bit sad.
What's that?
There's infiltration levels.
What's sad about infiltration levels?
Like stealth levels.
Well, that just means that there might be specific paths that you can't get off and everything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get too worried about that until I've seen how they're integrated.
Yeah.
It'd just be a variety to the kind of gameplay you do. Yeah, I like infiltrations, like stealth stuff, if it's fun still. There's plenty of fun stuff in the infiltration. Infiltration, fun.
I don't know if saying it makes it fun.
Well, I realized I'd said the two words a lot, so I just thought I should just keep doing it.
You just keep running with it, man.
So that's Hover, and very nicely, it's based at a $10 pledge if you want a copy of the game, which very, very fancy. Okay, which is kind of weird because the $15 pledge is also... Oh, no, it was an early bird. I just didn't say early bird. Sorry, they're gone. $15 now. Suck it. Okay. We're almost to the end, I promise. Okay, we have got Havoc Your Way now. Havoc Your Way is game where you get to play out the life of either a good guy or a bad guy. You get to choose who you are at birth, and then it seems that when you're in early primary school, there's a choice whether or not you will be nice or bad between you and another boy. At this point, you get to choose whether you'll be the boy causing havoc his entire life or the boy trying to stop the havoc entire life. The game is then played from a side-scrolling perspective, that sort of cut out buildings. Like you might get in like Neighbors from Hell or the old Home Alone game or something like that. Or Spy vs. Spy, the old Spy vs. Spy, which is what it sort of reminds me of the most. And then the levels are walking around, solving, I suppose, like little puzzles and making small interactions to cause havoc in the world, and the other person tries to prevent or clean up those interactions. I think stylistically, it looks really, really cool. I love the style. I think conceptually, it seems really, really cool. I think gameplay-wise, it looks really boring. But that might just be what they've done in the pitch. Because at the moment it's like, walk up to Bubbler, click on it, make the Bubbler do a thing. There wasn't really any interesting interactions that went on. It wasn't like... Because you'd expect in like a Spy vs. Spy thing, well, you'd want to set up like traps. You'd want to set up something that's a couple of steps. And there wasn't much of that involved. But that also could just be they're keeping it simple for the pitch. So I'm still really interested in it, but I wasn't sold on the gameplay. What did you guys think?
It took me a little bit to understand what this was.
Yep.
Mainly because I was kind of rushed when I was looking at it. Sorry, guys. I really like the art style in this one, actually.
Yeah, I think it looks really fun.
Yeah, I think it almost, not quite, but kind of throws you back to the kind of Sierra days a little bit, but not quite all the way there.
It's more teenager.
I think yeah, teenager, probably closer to teenager. But I think you're right. So if the puzzles are sort of walking up and undoing an item, an action by just sort of tapping it, I don't know, then it sort of becomes a bit of a time management game, I guess.
Yeah, I know you were into it, Ben. What did you think? Or was Ben dead?
Yeah, little game.
There it is.
I did not hear that.
You're
I thought
rubber
this game
banding.
was quite charming. Oh.
Of course you do, because that's your number one descriptor. Did you think anything else about it?
Yeah, well, I like games that sort of they just got that appeal to me, and yeah, this one has it in spades, sort of thing.
Charm in spades. You know, I gotta say, I think you used those words about 726 times last week. I counted. Lots of
fine.
charm. And
he knows what he likes.
Not only was it
exactly.
charm, but it was in spades.
That's a lot of charm.
I've never seen charm in shovels, though. Never been done. Okay. No, that's cool. Havoc your way, and we didn't say that. If you wanted to pledge for the game, early birds, they're still there. They're at £5 because this is in the UK. This one, £7 once the early birds are gone, but you probably got a pretty good chance at that because at the moment they've only sold 4. So you've got 996 left. Go guys, go. Okay. Finally, we've got a very short conceptual pitch. This game will end up being given away once it's made, so this is just trying to get it done. So if you're interested in it, that's why you come and help them out. That's what Kickstarter is for sometimes, just getting stuff made, not that you really get much in return. Trial of Trials is a very basic RPG. And why is that interesting? Because you get around by using your exercise bike. You have to have a little device, and there's instructions on how to build your own, which will record your cycling, and then you travel around the world by you're choosing a destination and then cycling, and then you fight battles on the way and things like that. It's a motivator to keep you exercising on your exercise bike, and I think that's a fun little idea. We've seen a few of these over the years, but
yeah, it reminds me a bit of Run Zombie Run.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah,
I was thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cute idea. As a cyclist, I have a request.
Yes.
It should integrate into Runkeeper or Strava. When I cycle, I will use another app to basically log where I go, and the obvious thing for me would be to have integration into those services. That's what Run Zombie Run does.
Aren't there supposed to be events whilst cycling?
Well, it depends how they're going to work, I guess. But you could do something like make your phone rumble or something like that if you wanted to do go down that path. I just think from a practicality standpoint, that's what I would want for me to use it. Because otherwise I'm having to decide whether or not I'm going to kind of track one or the other.
Yes, but most importantly, it will support the metric system.
Well, that is very important.
That's good. That's interesting. I mean, I think maybe we need to see a bit more of how the gameplay in between stuff is actually going to play out to know whether if that's an option. Because I think that's why it's being designed for a home exercise bike. Because you're actually even though you're still cycling, you're actively playing it during that time, I think. Which would make it not really, unless you're just the world's best, most observant cyclist, I don't think you can play a game while cycling on the streets.
Yeah.
Well, like
yeah.
it's set up as a stationary bike, anyway. So.
Yeah, but James isn't. James is talking.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, James is talking about taking it down the road like a crazy.
Oh yeah, I think I might have misread this. Sorry, I thought it actually ran on one or the other. Well, then in that case, then it's cool because it gives you something to do while on a stationary bike.
Yeah, that was
hella boring.
That was his motivation.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to the end. What are our picks of the week, boys and girl? You're a boy for today's. No, sorry, no. Okay, we're all girls now.
Would you like a shovel?
Yeah, I'll dig myself down. I'm gonna dig up now. Simone, what is your choice, girl?
I think I am gonna go with Universe Sim because I'm just a sucker for something that's really, really pretty, and it was super duper pretty. And it's rare for a pitch that long to keep my attention for that period of time, and it totally did. So
it was about to run dry for me until like the aliens turned up, and then like
Yeah.
booyah! Big way to finish. And they did the whole Hans Zimmer bomb when it happened as well. Very amusing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was amazing.
Okay, James, what is your pick?
I'm going for the other side of that coin, and I'm going for Imagine Earth. I thought they sold that game to me really well, and I wanted to play it.
Good choice. Ben, yours? Ben is dead again. He's going to suddenly launch into a. Oh no! I think just in a second, like all the connections are going to catch up to him. Maybe he's completely gone now. Oh, there is a gun. Is anyone else there still?
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
No. Ben said
you
we
might have
have
lost
light
power.
flickers.
Yeah.
I think I have to go.
Oh my God! Ben has left because.
There is a storm.
As soon as he sees rain, it's like, oh my God, I have to switch off the power to the house. Okay, so Ben chooses Amori.
Aww.
My pick, of course, will be Hover, because Hover looks really, really cool. And Ben's real pick will be Havoc Your Way, because he told me that's what he wanted, but he's not here. So it's sticking with Amori. Good work, Ben. Great work. Okay, other things this week. I grabbed the Mario Golf demo for 3DS.
Oh, how's that?
Is it good?
It's, well, if you like Mario Golf, this is even better. Grab the demo, because it is, like, you know how you start up Nintendo demos and they say, like, oh, you've got 10 tries of this demo left, and you feel like punching Nintendo in the face?
Yeah.
It's like, why are you limiting your demo? At least this time they've given a very substantial demo. They've given they've got a tutorial level, then they've got 3 courses, and you play 3 holes on each of those courses. Then you've got 2 special modes to try out. So in there's like, I suppose there's 12 holes in that game. And
wow. How much of an RPG is it?
No, it doesn't have the RPG element of it.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not a Mario Golf RPG. That was the GBA one. This is more in line with the GameCube style Mario Golf.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was still very good.
Yeah.
And I forget how hard those games are.
Yeah, they're super hard.
I was doing one of the special maps. You've got to get to the hole, obviously, within par, but you've got to go through rings on the way. I think this is something done previously, but it means that you can't make a bad stroke. So once I sort of worked out how to get through the rings properly, and I've worked out their system for switching between clubs, and the camera's the only thing I had a bit of a problem with, but I've learned how to use the camera now, so I'm fine. But I mean, I get on the green, and then like, I've got one chance to get this putt. And I get it within like an inch and a half of the hole. I'd be like, oh!
Are there mulligans?
Why would you go to your home?
Are you too good for your home?
Are there nice ons?
Yeah. That's a great shot.
Nice
on. Yeah. It's a very nicely put together package, and it runs well. And I turn the 3D on and off because like you were talking about earlier, how you'd liked the little bit of tilt with Hitman Go that exists in 3D Mario. Problem being that doesn't really work when you've got the 3D turned on because it doesn't
completely break the 3D.
Yeah. So you can't really do that, but you can turn it on and off. So they've got to switch to turn that feature on if you don't want.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's fine.
I very rarely play with the 3D on, to be honest.
Sometimes I like playing Luigi's Mansion a lot with the 3D on.
Yeah.
And
Zelda the game.
Zelda I played all with. Yeah, Zelda it made a big difference too. I thought. Yeah. So that's Mario Golf. And then the other game that we all played, Flappy 48.
Yay!
The best Flappy Bird 2048 mashup we've seen.
I think I could stand by that. But you know what the thing is, James?
What?
There are actually two.
Are you serious?
There are actually two
damn.
Flappy Bird 2048 mashups. So, I saw one on Reddit the other day, and I think this one was the one I saw afterwards. So
it's a lot of fun.
It actually is.
Good.
It's actually really good. It's really slickly put together. It's fun. Just go play. It's a fun joke, even if you don't like both games. And if you do like both games, hey, it's fun mashup of two games you like. Even better. Lots of things. Great stuff. Okay, so anything else we want to talk about before we close up today?
I'm super excited, and no one else will be.
Yeah.
Hoping someone listening might be, is that Pajama Sam, Pot Pot, and Spy Fox are now on Steam.
That's right, all the humongous games are on Steam.
And they are the best. And I squeed massively when I saw Pot Pot on there. And my boyfriend was very confused. And I was like, but look at it! And he's like, it looks crap.
Those on the hot... Well, not on... That's Ron Gilbert's company.
Yeah. So it's like some Gilbert adventure game right there.
And you know how much we talk about Ron Gilbert because he's our only real celebrity kind of friend in that he's spoken to us 3 times, which makes him a friend.
I've met him a few times now.
You've met him more than that.
I hunt him down at GDC.
Yeah, with a like tranquilizer. But I
tell him we need the friendship dungeon.
The friendship dungeon is an important thing we need in our lives. But speaking of things released on Steam, I don't think I mentioned this. Also this week, they released Vanges, or Vangas. I've never really worked out which one's which. This is that weird Russian, like, voxel-based car racing RPG, triple, like 4X style.
I have no idea what you're saying to me.
Like, it's the thing. It's like it throws everything. Like, you're insects. You're a larva in the game or something. It's mad. It's incredibly insane. And there's still a community that exists around this game. But it doesn't run on anything, I think, past Windows 98. And everyone that's in the community that can get it running, it's all Russian. So I'm not so good at Russian, so I couldn't get it going. So they've just made it run under Windows 7 and 8 and released it on Steam. And so for the first time, I've been able to play this insane game that I've always wanted to have a go at. And it runs fine. And so far, it's a freaking weird game. And even though I can see it now, because last time I tried it, I could get it all working, except the visuals were like, the colors were inverted. And just like, there'd be all these weird things on, like, artifacts on screen. I'm like, I can't play this. So now that I can see everything, I'm still confused. It's a very weird game. But I'm glad that it's getting a second life on Steam now. I've actually seen quite a bit of complaining about all these old games being released on Steam, but I love it. And like, if you go and look at the humongous pack, there's a pack you can buy with all the games in it. All the games together are like $20, but the pack is worth $100. Costs $100 because you get all of the games that aren't currently on Steam. That's what you have to see in there, and all the future games that are coming out under it and everything as well. So you're actually buying a license for every humongous game ever.
It's like a season pass for humongous games.
It's huge.
It's huge.
I should say very big. Yes, very cool. There was a lot of news this week. But yeah, it's stuff that we don't really need stuff. There's new video stuff coming on PS4 where you can edit properly. Sony TVs are having PlayStation Now built into it now, just like everyone knew it was going to.
Yeah, it'd be very crazy if that didn't happen.
Yeah. Lots of stuff. It's fun. Did you have some closing thoughts, James?
Wait, that sounds a bit like Ben.
Oh, sounds a bit like... That's right. Ben left and confused me. Plus the fact I almost always forget.
You do. I have to keep reminding you every time.
Okay, so last week sounded a bit like this. It's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, what could that be? I know what it is because I had it spoiled for me. Do you know what it is, Simone?
No, I have no idea, as always.
Okay, so I'll point out that before I got it spoiled for me, I did pick. And my pick was a game that sounded a bit like this. So you can see my confusion.
Oh, I can guess that one, right? I can guess.
You can guess it?
It's Toe Jam and L.
It is Toe Jam and L.
Yes.
It's a crisp funk compared to
All right.
Jazz Jackrabbits.
That is
Slightly more muddled funk.
Yeah, that is Jazz Jackrabbit, which is from 1994 from Epic Mega Games, from the old Cliffy B, one of his really early games. It was really cool. It was kind of the PC's take on the kind of the Sonics and the Marios of the world, and I'll probably say I liked Jazz Jackrabbit the best, probably because it was the one I had access to.
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm pretty sure the only reason you really can think that is you were a PC gamer.
Yeah, and that one this week.
I mean, it was still a good
that
game.
was-
I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah, he had a gun in it.
It's
He had
true.
a gun. Yeah,
Ooh.
and that one was guessed by Brian G. That guy, he guesses a lot of them.
He's a good guesser.
Better than you.
Hey, I was
Way better
come
than
on.
me.
You
Oh
can
my god.
you can see why I would be confused at those two tracks. There's
They are kind of similar sounding.
very similar. Okay, so this week sounds a bit like this.
Minecrawler in sector 8675309.
530. Good gravy! That's Edmonton!
Ah,
What?
that robot sounds like Marvin the Paranoid
It
Android.
does a little bit, doesn't it? But yeah, we'll announce what that one is at the end of next week's show.
Yeah.
Hey,
That-
there was an interesting comparison I made this week. This is off a bit of a tangent.
Yeah.
But because I've been playing a lot of Elder Scrolls, and I showed some restraint by not really talking about it too much this time.
Thank you.
And I was on holidays, and I didn't have that much internet. I need a little bit of internet, so I thought I'm going to play Elder Scrolls Offline, which is Skyrim.
Yeah.
So I got to compare these two things and sort of see that they're very different beasts, and one of them is so much more of a game than the other. Like Elder Scrolls Online, it's a fairly linear experience. You kind of go to an area, you do your quests. The quests are pretty good, and the combat's pretty good, and I quite like it. Comparing it to Skyrim, where it's like the big open world, go do whatever you want, in a really broken world, it's like completely different tone. Like I'll walk down a road and I'll see a cow spawn in, and then I'll hit the ground. It's just like, what? Okay, I was walking along and there were like 3 swords hovering in the air, doing nothing. Just there.
Oh, you found the sacred swords of Azkaro.
I did. I was talking about this on Twitter. The best description I got for it was it's actually like Viking Simulator 2013. Like it's all of the glitches they know about, and they're going to do nothing to fix them because they're hilarious. It's like Skyrim. I kind of see it's like the uncanny valley of world simulation, because it tries to have these systems that work together, but they just don't, and they just end up with these ridiculous results. Like the time I tried to kill a chicken and the town turned on me. Like, I'm the Dragonborn. I should be able to walk into a town and kill a chicken.
That was a valuable chicken, James. It was a
very
valuable chicken.
I'll have 2 chickens then. There we go. Bit of Game of Thrones for you. Okay. I think that should pretty much bring us to the end of this week's episode. Thank you for listening to 8.5bit. You can go to our website, 8.5bit.com, our Twitter and Facebook, and please like and share anything like that, and follow us, and you get to see our daily Game Watch. You subscribe to us on iTunes, and if you do, please leave us a review, because reviews help share the love, and subscribe to us through any other damn well server you want as well. And if they've got reviews, leave a review there too. In fact, just write a review on the wall, toilet wall, like your place of business or a school or something like that. Fantastic. For a good time, listen to 8.5bit, and then my private number underneath. Okay, thank you for listening. I've been your host, Paul.
And I've been James.
I've been Simone.
And I've been Ben.
Oh,
Oh, Ben. You are the living end. Catch you guys later.
thanks everyone.